Okay, so we're gonna do my full wavy hair routine today, and I had just got my hair cut, so I'm so freaking excited because my hair was getting way too long. Look how much shorter it is. Okay, hold on, let me just check because Instagram is looking at my messy kitchen. Sorry, Insta. Um, and then I have to turn my dining room light off. Okay, one second. There we go. Much better. Okay, so look how much shorter it is. Oh my god, last time I went live, my hair was like down to there. I can't believe what a difference that makes. It's a little dark for YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. That's the best we can do. Okay, so we are going to start. I did wash my hair already today, but that was like an hour ago, so it is getting a little bit dry by now. I'm gonna start by fully saturating my hair. Sorry, I was trying to put this around my neck to stop my hair, my shirt from getting soaking wet, but I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna try this. That might work. These are those like roller clips from Curl Keeper. If you haven't met me before, my name is Gal. And I basically just have an account where I help you like embrace your hair, whether it's wavy, curly, kinky, coily, although fully transparent. I know almost nothing about coily or kinky hair. But we're just all about loving our hair here, mostly with a focus on wavy hair. Definitely a lot of this applies to curly hair as well. So I just got my first curly cut, which was such a cool experience. I've never had, have been seeing the same hairstylist since high school, actually. She's amazing, don't get me wrong, like chef's kiss. Her specialty, I think, she does really incredible creative cuts, like really amazing mullets and shags and like just like very artsy creative cuts. And she does amazing color, like balayage and like different like dye jobs and stuff like that. And she is she does really good cuts on me too. But she doesn't have as much, she might now, but she, like when she was cutting my hair up until about 10 months ago, she hasn't had as much training in textured and like cutting wavy, curly hair, etc. So when I started talking about the fact that I was thinking of becoming a hairstylist and I was interested in my focus being in wavy and curly hair, Mallory, did you just join? I'm talking about you right now. I don't know if you did join. So anyway, she encouraged me when I was saying that that was kind of what I was interested in. She encouraged me to start to get my hair cut by someone who did have like a lot of training in cutting curly hair. And so that is what I did. It took me like quite a while to just settle into a new stylist. But anyways, I got my hair cut last Wednesday by Marilyn at Curlology in Ottawa. And like, she did such a good job. Oh my god, she did such a good job. Considering Mallory is not a curly hair specialist, though, I have to say she is excellent at cutting with like wavy and curly hair. She's always done such a great job. But I did learn so much from Marilyn and getting my hair cut there. She does have 20 years experience cutting wavy and curly hair. And I think it's the first time I've had a full dry cut, which was a very, very cool experience. So anyways, I'm thrilled with the results, and this is my first time really styling it the way I normally style it myself. So I'm very excited. Okay, so I'm just trying to get it fully saturated. This is just water in here. And then I did buy some of the products that Marilyn used on my hair. Actually, no, that's not true. I bought some of the products that she recommended to me, but it wasn't products that she used when she did my hair. It was just ones that she thought I would enjoy like playing around with. If you're interested in any of the products I tried today, Marilyn's website is linked in my bio. You can buy all these products straight from her. Okay. So one thing that Marilyn did talk a lot about, again, this woman has like 20 years experience cutting textured hair, wavy, curly, coily hair, and she is such an expert, but one of the things she really talked a lot about was how wet your hair needs to be when you like are applying your products. I have to be honest, my hair has never been that wet when I apply my products, and I think part of that is because I often end up styling my hair like live or I'm filming and stuff like that, and as a result, there ends up being like a big delay from when I shower to when I actually styling my hair, because I end up like showering and then I have to like get dressed, do my, well, sorry YouTube, showering and then like get dressed and, you know, do my makeup, all that stuff for when I can actually create content. And my hair dries, and because I have like medium to low porosity, not like low porosity hair, but my hair does struggle a little bit to hold, like to get saturated. So using just a spray bottle, it can have a hard time for my hair to get really, really wet, which is why you guys are watching me spend the last like 10 minutes just spraying water, trying to get that water into my hair. And it's just really, it's so much faster to just put my head under a faucet, but even doing that, it takes like, you have to massage the water into my hair for it to really get in there. So the last couple of wash days, one of the reasons that I'm really excited to go to a specialist is I really was noticing that my hair was getting really difficult to manage. And something that a specialist was going to be able to do for me was to talk to me about like what treatments I needed. And one of the things I had done at Curlology was a hard water treatment. Okay, so you can see how wet my hair is now. Okay, you can't really see, but like water dripped out. It's still like kind of sitting on top of my water, kind of sitting on top of my hair, and not really, doesn't totally feel like it's penetrated, but it's pretty penetrated. I think it's close enough. Okay, so I had a hard water treatment. I've moved out to the country about 2.5 years ago, I think, 2 years ago, I don't know. And this is the first time, although I do clarify my hair, hard water can still build up on your hair, like the minerals in the hard water. So this is the first time I've done a specific hard water treatment. She did the Malibu Sea hard water treatment on my hair, and I think that made a big difference for sure. She also cut off a lot of length, and it is so much healthier. I've noticed a big difference in how much easier my hair is to style. I haven't done my regular wash day since getting it cut, so I'm so excited for today to really see how that comes across and how it looks. I did do one other wash day. You can go check out that video. It was like a Valentine's Day wash day where I used a few hot rollers on the top and did like a vintage hairstyle using like 80% my natural wave pattern and just a few hot rollers. It turned out so good. How long have I looked at those like vintage hairstyles and been like, oh my God, that would take forever to do. That's so unachievable. Like I would never do that. Go check out this video if you have naturally wavy or curly hair. I literally just did like 6 hot rollers right on top of my head, and all the rest of my hair is just my natural hair, just brushed, not even brush styled. And it turned out so well. I think it's such a great way to like do your hair for like a wedding or maybe like a Valentine's Day or a prom, something like that, that doesn't involve like a curling iron, or even it would be great for a wedding even. Like it's so cute. You bleached maybe is what you're saying there. If your curls are not doing good, bond treatments are gonna be your best bet. Also, did you bleach your own hair? Ooh, you gotta be so careful bleaching your hair. I would always get it done by a professional. Instagram, we got 30 people on there. That is a big turnout for Instagram. Okay, so what we are gonna start with, I got my hair nice and saturated here. So by the way, when I say bond treatments for bleach hair, I'm talking about things like K18, Olaplex, hey Ray. And I don't know the science behind behind these things. Marilyn was just telling me that she had done some training in K18. I think K18, like whereas Olaplex repairs or like strengthens the bonds in one direction, K18 strengthens the bonds in 2 directions, something like that. Why am I losing my voice? Oh my gosh, I was fine this morning. Hell, my hair looks good in the morning, but as the day goes on, my hair gets stringy and frizzy. What products are you using? If it starts good and it finishes bad throughout the day, my first guess would be you're not using the right products for your hair. So either the products, sorry, I've got a weird stand for YouTube and I keep knocking it with my finger. It's one of those like flexible stands. So are you using a gel? Would be my first thing, something that provides a little bit of hold. Quick note, lots of reports of hair loss from Olaplex. As a Deva curl hair loss victim who had to shave my head, I'm afraid to touch Olaplex now. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about hair loss and brands, okay? Including Deva Curl. There are a lot of products out there if you use them in a certain way, they can cause hair loss. It doesn't necessarily mean that the product itself innately, in all ways that it's used, cause hair loss. Okay? In fact, if you look up any brand and the word hair loss, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get at least one hit. Olaplex is a very reputable brand. Is it possible to cause hair loss by, like, a lot of people are like leaving Olaplex in their hair overnight in buns for, you know, like, you're not supposed to use Olaplex like that. If you did that once a week, yeah, it might cause hair loss. You're not supposed to use it like that. Like, I've also heard a lot of objections with Deva Curl that although a lot of people did struggle with Deva Curl, some of Deva Curl's products, like Deva Curl, when they first came out with their product line, they required the people selling it and applying it, it had to be in salons and you had to get like special training to be able to sell it and apply it. And then they changed that regulation. Then at a certain point, they changed it so that you didn't need to get special training and it was being widely sold. And it's when they made that change that they started getting complaints. And the products that specifically were linked to hair loss were products that, if used incorrectly, could cause you to have a lot of buildup on your hair. And if you have a lot of buildup on your hair, your scalp isn't breathing properly, and that can cause hair loss. So it's kind of a tough thing where almost any wavy or curly hair product, if used incorrectly, could cause unhealthy scalp, hair problems. So, you know, like it's kind of a challenge. That's not to say there are no bad products out there. Of course there are. But actually I'm going to be using a Deva Curl product today. It's just to think critically about when you're using products. Am I using this product as directed? Or am I using it off label? And then the other thing I would say is if you used a product just a few times and you had hair loss, is it possible that there was other things going on? Did you have stress going on in your life? Like, it's so hard to know for sure if it was that specific product. I'm not saying, Ray, that it wasn't Deva Curl that caused this product, the hair loss for you. Maybe it was. I know nothing about your situation, and I wasn't using Deva Curl at the time of this. I've just, yeah, so again, Ray, I'm not specifically talking to your situation. I'm just saying more widely, I think we like are very like quick to jump to XYZ product is, yeah, I think we're on the same page. The XYZ product is like, we're quick to cancel products when in reality we should like be very like mindful of making sure we're using products as directed, and be wary that these are products that we're putting on our hair and we need to be mindful to use them wisely and make sure they're, yeah, I don't know, there's like a whole thing there. But we're getting kind of off track. Can you say if Tresemme shampoo is good? No, I can't say it's good. They have a whole bunch of different shampoos. I don't use, I'd have to like read the ingredient labels on them, but I don't typically use Tresemme shampoo. Is it possible to have long hair and well-defined hair at the same time? Yes, absolutely. It just comes down to how you style it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use recoil for the first time. This is so highly requested, okay? So I'm going to pop it open. Yay, I'm so excited. Okay. Okay, I really don't know how much of this to use, and I don't want to overdo it. So I'm gonna start with like a small amount. Okay, Marilyn told me how to apply this, but now I forget. I think she said to just with, okay, yeah, this makes sense. She said to like put it in my hands and rub it without water, and that it would like, that definitely seems like the right thing to do. It turns into a cream. Wow, that was like barely any product. So it came on as a gel and it turned into a cream. I've never used that product before. That's really interesting. This now seems like a lot, so I'm kind of concerned about that. But I guess we're gonna start putting that in my hair. So when are you supposed to scrunch out the crunch? That is a great question. So what is the crunch? The crunch is what we call the cast. So the cast is what is like that crunchy finish that you get from using products that contain hold, okay? And so that would be your gels and your mousses, and they leave behind a crunchy cast. So you wanna wait until your hair is 100% dry. 100% dry, okay, after your hair is either air dried or diffused, and then you want to go in and scrunch that away. If you do it before your hair is 100% dry, chances are you're going to create frizz. Yeah, exactly, Janessa. Okay, so I really am worried about overdoing it with this recoil. That seemed like a lot, but I have no idea. So why am I using the recoil? Typically I don't use curl creams, but my understanding about this product is that it's not really a curl cream, it's a curl activator, okay? I'm new to curl activators. This is something that I really just learned about from Marilyn. So curl activators are for our wavy girls who have curl that has a tendency to not like to be super bouncy, and who want to tighten their curl pattern or make their hair curlier rather than control their curl pattern, okay? Just added like a pea-size amount again. So if you want your hair to be curlier, then adding a curl activator to your curl routine, something like curl recoil or living proof curl enhancer, might be a good idea. So this is only my second time using a curl activator. My first time was at the salon when they used the living proof one at Marilyn's salon. I used to have really long hair and I was struggling to make it look good. So my hairstylist told me that just in case I cut it off, it would be well defined and not frizzy. I used to have really long hair and I was struggling to make it look good. So my hairstylist told me that just in case I cut it off, it would be well defined. Okay, so probably if your hairstylist told you that cutting off the length would make it less frizzy and better defined, that's probably because you had damage in your hair. That would be my guess. Because a perfect example, if you go watch the video that I just posted with a blonde woman who's a hairstylist standing behind me, and if you scroll to the end, you can see my hair that's kind of a little bit frizzy and unmanageable and undefined throughout the whole video. And if you scroll to the end and see how defined and wavy my hair is, thank you, Lana, that's so sweet. You see the before and after, see how much more manageable my hair is at the end. That's because I had so much damage and split ends. So when she cut all that off, my hair was so much healthier. So absolutely cutting off damaged ends is gonna make a big difference. Okay, so the recoil definitely feels nice in my hair. Again, I'm just adding kind of like a little bit more than a pea-size amount because I didn't realize how much product this was gonna turn into once I like rubbed it. So I'm really glad that she warned me to like do that because man, if you just put this straight into your hair, it would be a real problem. So you definitely need to like do the recoil, like rub it in your hands first and then just distribute it. So I've really just been adding it in 3 different sections. You could do in more sections than that, but this seems to be okay. I hope I'm adding the right amount. Okay. I kind of feel like I didn't get enough right at the back. I have a real tendency of missing adding product right at the back of my head. So that's something to be mindful of. I think that's why you really need to give yourself some like grace the first couple of times that you style your hair. You're gonna get used to where you have a tendency to like miss product. Like somebody was messaging me the other day and they're like, why are my roots always frizzy? I'm like, is it possible that you just like miss applying product to your roots? Actually, I think they suggest, they're like, am I not adding enough product there? I'm like, maybe. How often should you use a recoil? So this product you would apply on the days that you style your hair, like a full restyle. So that's usually gonna be on the days that you shampoo your hair. So, okay. I'm just going to, oh, sorry. Oh my God, I started applying it to my roots because I was telling that story about that kid, that woman who, guys, my brain is tired today. Oh my God. I meant to apply it to the back of my head. That's so funny. For those of you who don't know, I'm a girly who struggles with, I was gonna say PTSD. That's not the word I'm looking for. Post-concussion syndrome. My brain is really tired. That's okay. I don't know why. I didn't really do all that much the last couple of days. Okay, so we have added lots of recoil, but that I took like 15 minutes to apply that product, so. Okay. So took your recommendation and to talk to my hairdresser about cut layers, not length, and it's so much better. I love that so much. How often should you wash your hair in a week? That is different for everybody, Janessa. Everybody's hair is a little bit different. I wash my hair every like 4 to 5 days, but I would say if your roots are oily, if your scalp is itchy, wash your hair. You don't need to be a hero, you know? Got here late, not sure what recoil is. It is the curl activator. If you want to give it a try, there is a link in my bio for Curlology and she sells this product. Got here late, not sure what recoil is. Yeah, so that, I've never used recoil that way. I'll have to try it. So I just comb it through the shower soaking wet. Same thing. But put it in your hands first and rub it like that until it turns into a cream. Having one of those days too, your brain is so foggy. Yeah, totally. So just like making sure my hair is totally saturated. Now that there's cream, I think my hair is gonna hold the water a little bit better because it was just like repelling the water beforehand. Yes, that's by AG, exactly. Okay, I think I need to refill my water bottle soon, but okay, so we've got the recoil everywhere. I hope I didn't add too much, but we're gonna find out. You tried so hard to like the recoil cream, but my curls were like, nah. So were you rubbing it in your hands before you applied it? Although there's no silver bullet products that are right for everybody. So, yeah. I'm brand new to this product. I don't know if my hair is gonna like it. We're gonna find out. Good morning, Gonzalez. So now we're gonna go through, speaking of Deva Curl, now this is a very old bottle of Deva Curl. So I'm gonna try to apply it to my hair, but it might be too thick because it might have dried out a little bit. So again, we are going to just apply all of my products first today, and then we are gonna go in and start brush styling. Don't know if you've tried it, but Weedad gel. Oh, that's so funny. I was going to use the Weedad gel today. It's so funny that you say that. I do love that gel, but the reason I'm doing the Deva Curl today is Deva Curl Marilyn. This is one of the gels that Marilyn uses in her salon. And so this was one of the product combinations that she recommended for my hair. And so I really just wanted to try one of the product combos that she tried rather than doing any substitutions. I just wanted to like, you know, give that a solid try. Although we'll see, because this gel is quite old, so yeah. We'll start applying it and see if it works. I discovered the Curl Mousse by Cake. Yeah, Cake the Curl Whip. Totally. I do find the Cake the Curl Whip mousse though, if I use it too frequently, it starts to make my hair stringy, although I find that is true with all mousses. except for maybe the John Frieda one. Okay. So it's definitely a little bit thick. I really love the smell of this mousse, of this gel. So this is the Deva Curl Ultra Defining Gel. Okay, that was probably a lot of gel, but this might be a lot of product that we're adding. So we're just gonna quickly put that through my hair and then move to the next section. I really like to, when I have the time, apply product in sections to my hair. I do find I have not the coarsest, thickest hair in the world. Oh no, my dog is barking at something. One second. Hi. Sterling, come. Sterling, come get a treat. Instagram is the internet freaking out. One second. I'm gonna. Sorry, I'm so excited. Yeah, I will unwrap them. I'm gonna show you, but Instagram's just glitched, so I'm just gonna join again for them. I don't know why Instagram always does this. Wavy hair routine. Sterling was outside and he's like he's a sweetheart and we love him, but he's 170 pounds. So you can imagine if you were delivering flowers and a 170-pound Mastiff was like at your car door barking at you, you wouldn't get out either. What do we have here to put them in? Oh, I think this is gonna be, this is so pretty. Sorry, I have to put them in warm water, guys. Yay! Okay, I'll do this in front of you. Isn't this the prettiest vase? Okay, so. Okay, this is, oh, they're from a campus. This is a local Almont florist. Are they from you? How did you know I love acanthus? I assume they're from my husband. Oh, there's no card. I assume they're from my husband. Here, we'll just put them like this for now. Oh, they smell so pretty. Here, I'll do this so you can see them. Aren't they amazing? I'll post a picture when I fully unwrap them. I'll post it to my stories on Instagram so you guys can see. But this florist is incredible. They're just like very talented. Oh, they're so pretty. I love that. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that little side note there. Yeah, there is a thing. Did it fall? I don't know. I don't see a card. Oh, here. It just says my name on it. Yeah, it just said my name on it. Okay. So where was I? I think I hadn't applied gel to this next section yet. I'm pretty sure they're from my husband. Not one of my other like boyfriends. Just kidding. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit more ultra defining gel. Okay, buddy. Are you gonna do your hair with me? Hi. Hello. Yes, I'm from near Almont, for sure. So somebody was saying I got scared to use Deva Curl products after their product was recalled. So we were talking about that a little bit earlier. I know lots of people experienced hair loss after using one of the Deva Curl products. I think that specifically the product that was associated with hair loss was one of their low poo shampoos, is my understanding. However, it wasn't the full line of Deva Curl products. It was one of their products. However, or at least that's my understanding. However, they did reformulate that product. However, I also know some stylists who had been using that product and a lot of other products for like years prior to this and had never had issues with the formulation. And so I don't know, like I was talking about earlier, I don't know, there could be a lot of reasons that people can have hair loss, or that a certain people can have hair loss in relation to a certain product. So I don't know, I'm not a scientist, or what I do know is all of the Deva Curl products today are safe to use. We'll have to do a summer collab or puppy play date when I come out to my trailer for the summer. Oh, that's so fun. A stylist told me that people were not using it right and that's why they lost their hair. That's generally, I think, the consensus among most hairstylists, it sounds like. But again, I'm not a hairstylist and I'm not an expert in these things, but that's what I've been hearing through the grapevine. Is a bonnet or a silk pillow better, or is it just preference? It is just preference. Everybody's hair is a little bit different. So, although, I mean, then again, I'm not an expert in these things. Okay, so I am gonna add a little bit more of the ultra defining gel. I'm just going through section by section. And I'm kind of excited to see the results. I haven't used this product in a long time. Yes, I'm gonna diffuse my hair today. So this will be my deciding factor, I think, on my results today of whether or not I repurchase the Deva Curl gel, because I haven't used it in a really, really long time. Do you have any tips for flat roots? I have so many tips for flat roots because I have very flat roots. Now, a part of like this like concept of flat roots typically comes from people who have hair, not always, but typically it comes from people who have hair that is less curly or less spirally on the top of their head. So for example, with my hair, it's pretty spirally underneath. The top section of my hair is not very curly. That's not to say that's the case for everybody, but that's often where I see it. Now, with my hair, the top section of my head has curl that only starts like 2 inches, like 1.5 inches or 1 inch away from the root, and that causes it to not grow up and out, but rather downward, which causes those flat roots. So there's a lot of ways that you can address it. One of the easiest things right off the bat is to talk about it with your hairstylist. Because if you say, I have flat roots, I struggle with volume on the top of my head, and you talk about that with your hairstylist, and your hairstylist knows how to cut wavy and curly hair, one of the things they're gonna be able to do for you is to make sure that they are cutting your hair in such a way that it encourages lift and volume around the crown of your head, okay? So that haircut is gonna make a massive difference. If all of your hair is the same length, then likely that is going to exacerbate the issue. Now, Flat roots can be flattering with some haircuts. I saw a girl get a gorgeous Parisian French wavy bob, where it kind of is a bit of a triangle shape, and it's supposed to be, and it looked so good on her. Oh my God, like it was so chic. And you know, I've always hated on triangle head on this page, and then I saw this haircut and I was like, you don't know what you don't know, gal. You don't know what you don't know. Triangle shape is not necessarily a bad thing, because this looks amazing, so chic, so good. So you can lean into it with a good haircut, and that can make your styling so much easier. Or you can continue to combat it for the rest of your days the way I like to and just get a haircut that has lots of layers. And then you can start to do things with styling technique, okay? So there are techniques like the gravity-fed curls method. I coined it that, but it is not my technique by any means. I learned it from Jonathan Torch. I don't know what he calls it, but I just thought it was catchy to call it the gravity fed. That's like what it looked like to me. And it's where you really focus on creating that first bend in the root when you're styling the hair. So you pull it upwards and you focus on encouraging that first bend at the root, and that will really, really help encourage that volume at the roots. Diffusing will also hugely help with flat roots. I know my hair isn't soaking wet. I have been sitting here with a spray bottle literally the entire time trying to get my hair more wet. My hair is a little bit low porosity, and I'm in Canadian winter, so like I'm just losing all of the moisture as I go. It's just... do I ever use Intersense or AG or Rizzo curls? So great question. I have AG recoil in my hair right now. I'm adding Deva Curl Ultra Defining Gel to my hair over top of that. Oh my God, I just realized that whole time. I'm so sorry. I thought I was live on Instagram and I wasn't. Sorry, Instagram. I forgot to press the last live button. So I've got AG recoil in my hair, but it's my first time using it today. But when it comes to time to style it, sometimes I find my hair has an easier time like getting saturated once I have the products in my hair. So although it is very wet, it's because I showered like 2 hours before I went live. So I wanted to like take some of the moisture out of it just so I could like walk around without my shirt getting fully saturated. I'm so sorry, Instagram, that I lost you. I don't know what happened. And then I thought I had gone live again, but I forgot to press the last live button. Oh God. Okay. So anyway, so that's why my hair is not as wet as it should be. It's not the end of the world. As long as your hair is very wet, like wet when you're applying products, you can always add more water when it comes into style. But it is best for your hair to be 100% fully saturated when you're applying your products, like dripping wet when you're applying your products and when you're styling it. That is best. It's just difficult for me when I'm sitting here live and I'm not in a bathroom, and it's tricky. 1 second. What's happening? Julie, it takes so much effort to wash, style, diffuse, only for the next day curls to be flat and undefined. Such a great point. So one of the biggest things you really want to work on is protecting your style and certain tips, techniques, and products that are going to help your product to last. You really don't want to have to fully restyle your hair every single day. So you can see how wet my hair is now. Okay, we are like pretty saturated at this point. I'm just going to brush it to make sure everything is nice and evenly distributed. There we go. Yes, your hair should absolutely be wet when applying gel. Do not apply gel to anything except soaking wet hair. Okay, so the first thing is going to be protecting your hair at night. That is a big game changer. If your hair, like either at least sleep on a silk pillowcase. This is something I put off for a really long time, so I get it. It just seems low priority. It feels like, well, I'm not that girly. I'm not gonna like protect my hair at night. Like I'm not like that. It's not that serious. Try it. Just try it. It does make a difference, okay? It It just does. It makes your hair last so much better. It can be as simple as sleeping on a silk pillowcase, and you can try putting your hair up in a silk scrunchie, like up on top of your head. Try that. Or for a long time, I just did the silk pillowcase and wore my hair down while I was sleeping. That worked great. But what works best for me is to wear my hair in a silk scarf or a silk bonnet. That works best for me. And my hair, the next day 2, I do not restyle my hair. My hair is fine. Like, I don't need to do anything. Often day 3, I don't have to do anything either. So, and then day 4, maybe I do a light refresh, and sometimes I can get a day 5 out of it too, especially if I've done a bit of a refresh on day 4. You found brushing your hair upside down before styling helps with root volume. Definitely there's some styling techniques that can help with that. Have you ever tried Eco Slay protein treatment? My hair tends to be pretty protein sensitive, although we did do I think an Amika protein treatment when I was at Curlology. But no, I don't typically do protein treatments at home. I don't know, maybe Marilyn will get me to change on that front. So here's how I style my hair, friends. This is officially wet. I think we're just gonna accept that the shirt is gonna get wet now. Okay, so here's how I style my hair. Now I have to give my caveat, you don't have to do this, okay? You can just get your hair absolutely saturated, do squish to condish with your hair dripping wet after you've applied your products. Just squish it all so it's in those gorgeous little seaweed clumps, and then either plop or micro plop. So plopping is when you kind of like put your hair up in like a t-shirt towel or like whatever, microfiber towel, ideally not a terry cloth towel, in like a wrap, and then you let it sit for like 15 minutes or whatever, then you diffuse or air dry or whatever. That's what a plop is. Alternatively, you can micro plop, which is what I prefer to do, which is where you use a t-shirt or a t-shirt towel or microfiber towel to gently squeeze out the excess water. So you can do that technique, guys, and it's so much easier. It will save you so much time. I prefer to do the most, so that's what we're gonna do today. But don't come for me and be like, wavy or curly hair takes too long. I could never take care of my wavy or curly hair because it takes too long. You don't have to do the most. I just like to, okay? Okay, trying to decide between microfiber or cotton for plopping. Any advice? Just try them both, see what you like. Start with the t-shirt because it's free. I find my hair is so full of product, etc. I have to rinse or wash it more often. That sounds like probably your products are too heavy for you. Okay, so we're starting with a diamond brush. I'm just gonna brush through. So right away, I can see it's like not clumping nicely together. Do you see all this? That's not what we want. My hair is not wet enough. So that means one of two things. Either my hair is not wet enough or there's not enough product, which these are all new products for me, so it really could be either of those. But we're gonna try just adding more water, and I'm just gonna brush through, and then I'm going to go like that. And then Marilyn would do the rake and shake, but I find it hard to do that without being able to see the hair. So I'm just gonna rake it. Maybe I'll just, sorry, I like really want it to turn out perfectly today because this is my new hairstyle, so I might just do like a traditional ribbon curl. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's talk about ribbon curls. So this is a technique that is pretty straightforward. You're basically just brushing through your hair with tension. You don't need a diamond brush for this. You can do this with a paddle brush, not a round brush, but like anything that you can brush through with a little bit of tension. And you're basically just smoothing all of that wet frizz and helping the hair to clump. And then I'm just going through to like break it into sections afterwards. If that erases all of the curl, then you would want to shake or scrunch the hair afterwards. Okay? And I like to start the brush as close to the root as possible, and that really helps me to clump and get rid of that wet frizz near the root. Okay, so that's really all I'm doing for that bottom layer where my hair is the most spirally. The bottom layer of my hair is by far the most. So someone's saying, isn't the water just diluting the product? Yeah, totally. However, wavy and curly hair products need water. If you apply wavy and curly hair products to hair that is too dry, first of all, it's going to make your hair look heavy and greasy. Second of all, your hair is going to look undefined and a little bit frizzy. Everybody's hair is a little bit different. If you're applying it to hair that's not very wet and you like the results, then keep doing that, of course. But if you don't like the results, if you find your hair is looking heavy, greasy, or like the product is not evenly distributed, like it's looking greasy or heavy in certain areas and not others, or it's looking frizzy and undefined or stringy or anything like that, then try applying it to wetter hair. Okay. So we're gonna keep going. Again, I have no idea if I added enough product. This is really gonna be a learning process for me. So now the next section that I'd like to take is just the back of my head. I like to get it out of the way. I'm really not precious about the back of my head because I can't see it. I can't see the back of my head, so I don't care about it that much. So this is like about probably an inch and a, oh, this is too big a section. 1 second. Yeah, okay. So it's like probably an inch and a half or 2 inches tall. And it's just, I think this is called the back of your head. It's like above the nape. And then I'm gonna go across and brush curl it in horizontal, not brush curl it, ribbon curl it in horizontal sections. So I'm not gonna do it all in one go. I'm gonna do it in individual sections. No, I haven't tried the Evo brand. So some people, if you find it all gets mixed up with the other hair, you might find it helpful to like clip this section you're not working on so you can tell what you have or haven't done. I often just like put it on top of my head like that, but you could even clip it if that helps. So now I've got a portion of that next back section, and I'm really not going to do anything too special. Like I said, I'm just going to brush it to get rid of that wet frizz, okay? And then I'm going to rake through with my fingers like that to separate it into individual curl clumps. Give her a little shake to revive the curl pattern, and that's it. I try not to obsess or be like a perfectionist with the back of my head. Ultimately, what I find is the curls are a little wonky back there, but at the end of the day, once I'm all done, it's not that noticeable. And so I could obsess and try to make it perfect, but it just doesn't matter. Thanks, Michaela. What products do I like? So I use a lot of different products. Some of my favorite products are, as you guys know, the Lust Brands products I absolutely love. I'm a Lust Brands ambassador. I'm trying AG Recoil and Deva Ultra Defining Gel for the first time today, which I'm very excited about, but I'm new to these products. Some other brands that I use a lot. Curl Keeper I really like. Bounce Curl, I use a lot of their products. I recently tried the Native shampoo and conditioner and I really liked it. So I don't know, I use a lot of different products. I do find that technique is as, if not, well, equally important to the products that you're using. And I think a lot of people undersell how important the technique is. And they think that the next product that they use is going to solve all of their problems, and so they spend so much money trying new products, and they're like, this product didn't work, and this product didn't work, and this product didn't work, when in reality, one of the products they've already tried maybe could have worked if they just tried it more times and tried it with more different techniques. Have I always had curly hair, and when did you start taking care of it? That's a great question. So I consider my hair wavy, not curly, although I know that's highly debated. But I have always had, here, let me show you a picture of me when I was a kid. Don't you love when I come with receipts? Aww! So very similar to what I have now. You can see flat roots even then, spirally ends. I think that's the only picture I have from my childhood. Yeah, yeah, so I started taking care of it when I was 27, 28. And this was what it was looking like at the beginning. Not great. But I had a lot of heat damage and I stuck with it. This was one of the first times that I was actually so happy with these results. I was like, oh my god, it's actually like spirals. I was so excited with this, which is so funny. I mean, this doesn't look bad, but I had a cast and I didn't break the cast, so it looks so greasy. But anyways, that like smirk, look at my smug little grin. I'm so pleased with myself. And then I was so happy with this. I was so happy with these results. Y'all need to understand how many curling iron pieces I had to make this look like this. This was like 40% curling iron. Like, yeah, it looks great because it's all curling iron. Anyways, we all get to our destination in different ways, right? Happy Valentine's Day. The native shampoo conditioner I used is the Curl Care one. All the orange, sorry, one second. Somebody asked a question here, live chat. Yeah, my mom has slight wave to her hair, but she's straight, like she does a blowout. If you're just starting to embrace your wavy or curly hair, what is the most important product to start with? That is such a great question. I would say a gel. A gel is going to be the one thing that almost everybody benefits from because it's going to provide you with hold and longevity. Sorry, we're taking too long, so my hair is starting to dry out. Also spray bottle. But yeah, a gel is the one thing, but the one thing I would say is gels typically aren't meant to be used on their own. You're typically supposed to use a leave-in conditioner with them, or like a curl enhancer or a curl cream with them. The thing I would caution you is a lot of people think that curl creams are for everyone. Most curl creams are not for everybody. Curl creams, a lot of them, curl cream is used as a really broad term that can mean a lot of different things. Can I replace gel with mousse, or are they doing different things? They're doing very similar things, but yes, you can replace gel with a mousse. A mousse is going to give you a flatter, less shiny finish. It's also going to give you a typically less strong hold. It's also going to be lighter weight and give you more volume. So those are all things to consider. Okay, so we're going to keep going through, and I'm going to keep just doing this like kind of ribbon curl technique. That's probably too big a section. The thing is, whatever size your curl clumps are now, like as they start drying, is the size the curl clump is going to keep reforming into, okay? So if you do these giant brush curls or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'll just break up the curl clumps once my hair is dry, you're going to constantly be having to break up those curl clumps, and it can get kind of annoying because your curl clumps keep reforming. So it's just something to be mindful of. You feel like you're saving time by doing like bigger clumps now, but then you end up spending so much time during your refreshes and throughout the day trying to like break them up again that it's kind of like a perceived time savings, I feel. Get an infinity spray bottle, not just a normal spray bottle. Thank me later. I totally agree with that, Selena. My hair always tends to part in the same place all the time, and I get very flat roots. Do you have any tips for that? When your hair is soaking wet, including the roots are soaking wet, brush it into the direction that you want. You can only manipulate your part while your hair and your scalp are fully saturated, and then you have to keep it in that position during drying. So I would recommend diffusing if you want to change like a cowlick or a growth pattern. Okay, so now that we're getting close to my face where stuff is going to be really visible, now I'm going to go in with some curl manipulation. We're going to do some brush curls here, and this is just because we're going to do the most, okay? It's Valentine's Day. Your girl wants to be a little cutie for her husband. So yesterday we had our 12-year, we're married, but yesterday we had our 12-year dating anniversary. We were little babies when we got together. He was at my 20th birthday party, and we started dating shortly after that. But anyways, so today, yeah, that was yesterday, so then today is Valentine's Day. He's a little cutie. He's very camera shy though. He doesn't have any social media. He's one of those. Am I a lucky girl or what? Okay. So again, when you're doing a brush curl, hold the brush at a downward angle, and then you only want to wrap it through the bristles really one time, okay? And that's how you prevent having to cut it out of your hair. And then you want to start wrapping around the handle, and that should give you a good amount of grip. There's lots of other ways you can do this. You can finger curl. If you have naturally really curly hair, you wouldn't even have to do this. You could just do like a shingling or something to get that nice definition with no frizz. The lighting's really atrocious today, eh? Is this a little bit better? Oh, that's worse, eh? Oh well. Okay. Anyways, we got a couple little spirals there. What did you ask me, Selena? So somebody asked gel versus mousse. I use both. It depends on the results that I want to get. If I want really big hair, I'm going to use gel mousse with like maybe a small amount of gel. I pretty much always use at least a small amount of gel because it helps so much with longevity, and it gives me that tiny little bit of shine, which I like to have a little bit of shine. I don't like it to look too flat. And you're gonna get a very matte finish usually with mousse. This is called the Denman D4. It's linked to my bio. You can go check it out. Okay, so we're just gonna do another little ribbon curl. Give her a little shake to revive that curl pattern. So you can see these next two sections that I'm doing are just on the sides of my head. So the gel, today I just did the AG recoil, which I like turned into a cream in my hands first. And then I applied that all over to soaking wet hair, and then I went in on top of that with a gel. When do you apply gel? There are different schools of thought on this, and they're not right or wrong. It's just you see what works best for your hair, so you can experiment. You can either apply gel before you brush style like this. That's what I did today. You can also apply gel after you brush style, and you can just glaze it over top. In theory, just glazing your gel over top of like the brush styling should give you a little bit more volume. So if volume is something you struggle with, that could be something that you try. But there's no right or wrong. You can experiment with the two. The other thing you can do is master's technique, which is where you apply some gel either now or on wet hair after you brush style, and you can apply a little bit more gel when your hair is like 50% dry, where you just glazed some watered down gel over the hair that's 50% dry, and that's called, I think, this master's technique. So there's like a few different techniques of when and where you can apply gel. And again, this master's technique is another way to like amp up that volume, because that way it's really sitting on top of your hair and it's not like getting into the hair and weighing it down. Somebody asked me a question here. Weird question. Do you let people play touch with your hair after styling? People always want to feel my hair for some reason. Guys, I don't go out in public very much. That's so funny. I work a lot. I create a lot of content, which I do from home. I'm in the salon. I'm shadowing a lot of hairstylists in salons because I'm looking at becoming a hairstylist. But like, you know, I'm not a girly who's like going to the bar all the time, or like I go to my I have a gym buddy and I like work out with them. But like, I don't know, I'm not like somebody who's like hanging out with like people that I like don't really know who are like in the peripheral all the time. Like I don't have like you know what I mean? Like I have like my tight knit group of friends, and they're not gonna constantly be like asking to touch my hair. Like they've seen my hair a million times. You know what I mean? Video keeps freezing. Guys, is the video freezing for everybody on TikTok? Yes, so Instagram, the video will be saved and posted to YouTube. And my YouTube name is the same as my Instagram name. Oh, really? Huh. It's freezing for a lot of you, eh? That's so weird. I don't know why it's freezing today. Okay, so it's freezing for some of you, but not all of you. So that leads me to believe that it's something to do more with TikTok, maybe? I don't know, because if it's not freezing for everybody, then it's probably not my connection. I don't know, who knows? I live in the country, so it's not unusual for me to have internet issues. Okay, plopping should be before or after for definition. So you want to be brush styling on very wet hair, so that means you want to plop afterwards. At least that's always been my experience. I don't typically plop my hair, although I recognize that it is a good idea for some people. I'm not against plopping, I just don't like the results on my hair. I actually just had T Ploppy reach out to me to try their, they've invented like a better alternative to like using a t-shirt for plopping. Have you ever like tried to use a t-shirt for plopping and it's like kind of tricky to like, I don't know, I found this. You need like a double XL t-shirt to be able to plop with it. Otherwise it's like you have to tie it so tight. So like I understand why they came up with the product. This one has like snaps and it's just like, it's kind of the shape of a t-shirt, but it's made for plopping. Seems like a neat concept. I think they're gonna send it to me. I'm excited to try it out. I will report back and let you know whether it's a good investment or not. Love the puddling of my curtains. Thank you. I love puddling of curtains. I feel like this is a very controversial thing. Some people think my curtains are too long and some people don't. Some people like this look. What do you guys think? Are my curtains too long? Do you like this look or is this a vibe? Okay, so for the back of my head is way, like one of the least curly parts of my head. So a couple of things. First of all, I don't obsess about it. I just don't worry about it. It's just gonna be less spirally than other sections of my hair. I'm okay with it. I have a haircut that accommodates that. So my hairstylist noticed that when they cut my hair. That's when I got my hair cut dry. When I'm styling it, I do focus on getting that first bend in the root, and that is gonna help me with the flat roots a little bit, okay? Then I shake the ends a little bit. Long curtains should be long. I agree. And that's it. I just like, you know, get that first bend in the hair, get rid of the, I just ruined the last section I just did. Whatever, we're not gonna obsess. That's what I just said, we're not gonna obsess. I have to say the recoil makes my hair very soft. Okay, so I focus on that first bend in the root and then I just let the rest fall back. Gel recommendations for fine wavy hair. So I do not have fine hair. I haven't worked with a lot of fine hair. I think probably the Ultra Defining Diva Curl Gel would probably be a good option because it is pretty lightweight. But maybe do some research on that because like I said, I don't work with a lot of fine hair. So see if other people agree with me before you spend your money on that. As an audience, you don't often get to ask this, but how are you? Social media takes a toll on people. What a sweet question. You know what? I am so blessed with just such an amazing community. I kind of feel like we're all doing the same thing here. Like we're all just trying to like take something about ourselves that maybe we've really struggled with, which is our hair, and trying to learn how to harness it into being something we can be really proud of. So I feel like we're all doing the same thing. And y'all have always been so supportive. I've always approached this community as an opportunity for me to learn, and that although I try to be a resource for you guys, I also approach it that I know I don't have all the answers, so I'm very quick to admit when I'm wrong. Or at least I try to be very quick to admit when I'm wrong. Even if sometimes I might double down for like 1 or 2 sentences, you will often see me like double down for a sentence or two and then afterwards be like, wait, I shouldn't have doubled down there, I'm sorry. Like, so I think because I've taken that approach, I've just had such an overwhelmingly positive experience on here. But thank you for asking. I'm just really grateful for all of you. Yeah, I don't know, I just feel like this has just been a wonderful, really life-changing experience building this community. And I'm just grateful that y'all care and that I've been able to like help people. I mean, if you have never DM'd me on Instagram, like I'm very active in the DMs. I genuinely love when people DM me their results or like let me know like what technique either that I taught you or that someone else taught you that really made a big difference. Also, it doesn't have to be something that I taught you that made a big difference. If something in your wavy or curly hair journey like really was like an eye-opener or like as Oprah would say an aha moment for you, share that with me in the DMs. Like I'm so interested because maybe I can learn from that. Like I genuinely care so much about all of you and it means the world when you guys share your stories with me. Often if I have your permission I share them in my Instagram stories. Sometimes I even make like TikTok videos about them because I really do care and I don't know, it's just been such a positive experience. So thanks for asking, but I've been very lucky so far and I think I think you guys can tell that I do really love what I do here. Okay, so now we're getting like closer to my face here, so I am gonna go back into some brush curls. I think I'm gonna brush curl away from my face because I can. And I like that look. If you found this valuable, by the way, guys, definitely hit that follow button. I do go live every single Tuesday. So we do this all the time. I pretty much always do a full styling routine. Occasionally, hey Jade, occasionally I will do a refresh. Usually only if my hair is already looking pretty fly and I just can't bear to ruin it by getting it fully saturated. I'm also on the precipice of starting a hairstyling apprenticeship. One of the things that came out of this is that I just really love to do hair, and so I want to be able to do it professionally. Okay. So, do you see how I was spraying just at the root because I had like kind of a cowlick there? And I really wanted to kind of break that down a little bit. Otherwise, I think it was gonna kind of mess up this curl pattern because I was trying to switch the direction of the curl. So I was just getting that really wet, nice and at the root so that I could switch the direction of that curl. So now we're going back in with the brush curl and hopefully it will hold if I got it wet enough. Okay. Yeah, not bad. Here we go. Any thoughts on Curlsmith? I'm trying to get started on my curl journey and my curls have been super stringy and frizzy lately. Someone reckons, yeah, Curlsmith just launched in Canada. I really like their products. I really like their Shine fragrance-free shampoo and conditioner. Really, really like it. It's one of my like regular shampoo conditioner products. Okay, oh God, guys, this is a long wash day. I don't know, I think because my hair was just really struggling to stay wet. I don't know why, it must be really dry out. This is the hottest winter I ever remember having in Canada. Is wild to me. Like the canal where I live is the longest skating rink in the world and it's like one of the most popular attractions of the town I live in, which is Ottawa. It's like literally it's one of the coolest things about Ottawa. Like all winter there's a lot of people who skate to work because it's this long skating rink that goes through our downtown core. So like at the school I used to work in, I had a lot of colleagues who literally skated to work because it was the fastest way to get to work because you beat all the traffic. And no word of a lie, I don't even think it's going to open this year, which Ottawa is one of the coldest capitals in the world a lot of the time. And it hasn't even been cold enough on a regular basis for the canal to properly freeze. Now, keep in mind, we still have like 6 feet of snow here, but it's just for the canal to freeze because it's such a big skating rink. I don't know. I think they said they need 14 consecutive days of below minus 10 degrees Celsius. And we just haven't had that. We've had a lot of like -5, 0. It's just been like a really weird winter. Do you suggest combing through day 2 hair to get the tangle out? If so, how do you get curls to stay? You cannot get curls to stay when you comb through them. You have to resaturate your hair afterwards. I never comb through my hair unless I'm planning to do a wet refresh afterwards. And no, I basically don't comb through my hair unless I am shampooing afterwards. I know my hair also doesn't get particularly tangled, especially if I have my moisture protein balance on lock. Part of that is just my hair. Like, everybody's hair is a little bit different, to be fair. A lot of things that can contribute to that, like if you have buildup on your hair, I think higher porosity hair can get more tangled, possibly. If you have split ends, that can contribute to your hair getting tangled faster. So like, there's just like a lot of things to consider there. If you have bleach, of course, bleached hair or colored hair gets more tangled than non-bleached or non-colored hair. So that's all things to like consider. But if you're going to brush through your hair, you either have to embrace the brushed out curls look, or you have to wet the spirals to reinvigorate them. Those are really your only 2 options. There's no way you're going to be able to like brush them out and not have them look brushed out. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm going to want to do all hair types, but I am going to my goal is to become a wavy and curly hair specialist. And I'd like to be able to cut coily and kinky hair as well. Julie, thanks for being on the live today. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I already have gel in, although some people like to wait to add gel until after they do their brush styling, but I didn't do that today. Okay. I'm running out of water there. Okay, so I'm really doing the most. My hair doesn't normally take quite this long to do, but I don't know why it took so long. I guess because I got a flower delivery in the middle. No, you're not doing anything wrong. Hey, from Kingston, that's not far from me. What products did you put in to do the Denman brush technique? So, I mean, you can do the Denman brush technique on any... Okay, because this is the top of my head, I'm not going to do brush curls on the back, I don't think. I'm going to focus on getting that first bend in the root. And then I'm just going to let it fall, which is going to help hopefully a little bit with volume. And then I'm going to focus on the front. But today I did AG Recoil, which comes out as a gel, but then you turn it into a cream by rubbing it into your hands before you apply it to your hair. And then I put the Deva Curl Ultra Defining Gel on top of that. And then I've been using a Denman brush. The reason I like to use a Denman brush is it lets me go through and kind of shape all of the individual spirals so that I don't end up with like wonky sections. You don't need to do that, guys. You absolutely don't need to do that. One of the things I'm just going to do is really make sure I'm getting that first bend at the root though. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. But if you're somebody who struggles with just like very inconsistent results in your hair, thank you so much for sharing my live. I can't tell you guys how much that means to me. That actually helps me out so much. Or if you're just finding this valuable and you want to drop some likes or hit that follow button, we do go live every single Tuesday and hang out. And I always just do my hair. Because ultimately that's what y'all want to see, right? You just want to see something that's not a 15-second short of someone showing you one section of how they do their hair. Is that not what you want to see? That's what I wanted to see. I was like, yeah, but what do you do in between? What do you do in between this and this? I just want to see the full thing. Okay. So, now we're going to, how do we want to do my part? I don't know, I'm stressed. I think I'm gonna let my part choose itself. So when I style my hair, it lasts 4 to 5 days. So as a result, I just spend the time on wash day. Like, I'm not worried about spending a little bit of time on wash day when I know my hair is gonna last for like 4 or 5 days. Does that make sense? It's an investment for me. When I used to straighten my hair, I straightened my hair literally like I would spend almost an hour on wash day between blow drying and then straightening my hair, at least an hour. And then I would spend like 15 or 20 minutes every single day touching it up where it got curly overnight from the night before. So to me, spending 90 minutes on wash day styling and diffusing my hair and then barely touching it for 4 or 5 days is nothing. But of course that's relative, right? I used to have curly bangs. Somebody was just saying cut your bangs. I used to have bangs and I just found them to be very high maintenance because my bangs are not very spirally naturally. So I was just constantly having to do like quite a bit of maintenance to get them to do what I wanted them to do. Was not worth it for me. So I prefer to not have bangs. But it's cute. If you scroll back and look at the videos, I did love them on me. I did love the look. I'm the only one of your friends with wavy curly hair. Your friends are no help. Yeah, oh my gosh, I feel that. So yeah, anyways, all that to say, on my wash day, I usually spend, if I was just like doing it and I like didn't really care, I just wanted to do it fast. I mean, I could do it in probably 45 minutes. But if I want it to last like 4 or 5 days, it's probably gonna take an hour 20 between like the full styling and like washing my hair, you know, everything, styling my hair. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do a couple of brush curls just for my face, just to get everything styled away from my face, which can help it a little bit with not like being in my face so much throughout the day. And it also makes sure that I get those really like predictable curls around my face. Like I said, my bangs are some of the least curly sections of my face. They're not curly, they're just like a loose wave. And that really, really helps to like make sure that they are predictable. With the final result, I just got my hair cut. My hair was so long and getting pretty unhealthy because I hadn't had a haircut in 10 months. If you want to see that video, I just posted it. It's the one that went viral on TikTok. Well, sort of viral. I think technically it's only viral if it gets 1 million views. But anyways, you can see how long and how much more unhealthy my hair was before I got it cut. So this is my first time doing like my full normal styling routine since I got it cut. So I'm so excited to see how it looks. Yeah, so I definitely recommend doing smaller sections, although everybody's hair is a little bit different. So like if you have finer hair, you might prefer to take larger sections and that might look better with your hair type. Your curls turn into dreadlocks at night. How do you get your curls to last for days? Well, for one, I sleep with my hair on silk, like a silk bonnet, a silk scarf, something like that. That's gonna make a really big difference. That would be my main tip, to be honest. The other thing is if you're using products that are too heavy for your hair, that can really affect, we're running out of water. That can really affect your ability to like retain a nice style. But do you see how unspirally my bangs are? But I fight it. I fight the good fight. Okay, so this is like a twirling technique, but it can sometimes be helpful for these little sections that really don't want to do what you want them to do. See? And now we are happy. And this is why when someone says, "Is that your natural hair?" I'm like, not really. It's heavily manipulated. And that's why a lot of people also say, "Oh, Nina, you're so sweet." When a lot of people see the videos of my hair fully styled and they're like, your hair's curly. I'm like, well, this is not when you type your hair. You type your hair when it's air dried with no product in it, because I've heavily manipulated my hair at this point. Like I am making it look as curly as possible. So it's like, you know, if we're only judging people's hair type based on how good they are at styling their hair, well then we're not ever judging someone's hair type, we're judging their ability to style their hair, right? Do I have long layers? I don't know if it'd be described as long layers, I guess so. I don't really know what this haircut is called. But I did get my hair cut last Wednesday by a curly hair specialist, Marilyn at Curlology. The products I used in my hair today are from her salon. It's linked in my bio, Curlology. And you can order the products straight from her salon online if you want to. I used AG Recoil and Deva Curl Ultra Defining Gel. But I don't really know what the haircut's called. It was like a custom haircut for my hair. But you can actually watch, if you want to know exactly what I talked to her about, I posted the entire consult online. So you can check. I'm sorry, I don't think I posted it on YouTube yet, guys, but it's on Instagram and it's on TikTok. So you can watch the entire consultation that I did with Marilyn and you can see exactly what I talked to her about. But yes, my hair is very layered for sure. What type is your natural hair? Mine's 2C, used to have ringlets when little, and it's more of a wave now. So I don't type beyond wavy, curly, kinky, coily. And I don't really think it's necessary to, because there's nobody on earth who only has one curl type, like number letter combination on their head. I have tighter spirals that start pretty close to the root underneath, and I have very loose, like these here, waves on the top of my head. So which one do I choose? The curliest one or the least curly one? For one, you should probably choose the least curly one. That would be the most accurate. But no one does. They always choose the most curly one. But anyways, so I don't think it's that helpful to use a letter numeric, and no hate to you. I know a lot of people do that because they're trying to narrow it down. They're trying to find content creators that have hair as similar to them as possible. And I know, for example, within wavy hair, there's massive variation. So if you don't type down beyond like just wavy, how do you find someone with hair similar to yours? The truth is, beyond just the wavy category, what starts to be more helpful in finding people who are going to style their hair similar to yours is understanding things like thickness, density, and porosity. That's going to be more helpful than to really drilling into like the curl alphanumeric combination. Okay, we're almost done, guys. Yeah, it's really not necessary to sort out your type. It's almost like too much information, you know what I mean? And you could ask 100 people and they would give you 100 different answers. So if that's the case, then what are we even doing here, right? There we go. We're almost done. Okay, so now see how it's kind of stringy? That's because my hair is getting really dry because we've been doing this for 10 million hours. Oh my goodness. Instagram, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that I was not on the most recent comments. Thoughts on clarifying shampoos? Any brand recommendations? How would I know if my hair is ready for this reset? So everybody should be clarifying their hair. You should be clarifying, most people like once a month, once every 6 weeks. If you're somebody who is swimming in chlorine all the time, it's probably worth looking into like some of the chlorine shampoo. Like Malibu Sea has a chlorine shampoo that you can use, clarifying shampoo. If you have hard water, Malibu Sea has a hard water treatment that you can do on a somewhat regular basis. That's what I just did to my hair when I went to Curlology the other day, and oh my god, my hair feels so much better. Wow. But the rest of the time I use the Bounce Curl clarifying shampoo. It's a gentle clarifying shampoo and I really like it. It doesn't leave my hair feeling super dry or anything like that. So a clarifying shampoo removes buildup from your hair, especially for all my like friends who are using these sulfate-free shampoos or low poo shampoos. It's important to remember that there's a lot of things that can build up on your hair, not just silicones, not just stuff in your hair products, although stuff in your hair products can build up on your hair, especially if you're not following strict CGM. Let me be clear, I don't follow strict CGM. But if you don't follow strict CGM or you don't follow like silicone-free stuff like that, and then you're using low poo shampoos, like you're using stuff that's building up on your hair and then you're not doing anything to remove that stuff, okay, that is a recipe for things like hair loss, for greasy buildup, weighed down curls, things like that. So, yeah, I think that's what happened to a lot of people with Deva Girl. maybe. Curly Girl method, yeah. So a clarifying shampoo is going to remove buildup, but it's not just products that can build up on your hair. It's environmental factors, it's mineral buildup. There's like all sorts of things that can build up on your hair. Okay, so now what I like to do is put a little bit more water into my spray bottle because it's all out. It's all out of water. Ba-da-ba-da. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul here. Okay, so I'm re-wetting my roots because I should have maybe used root clips because now my roots have been like laying in this like flattened position for a really long time and started drying, and obviously that's going to contribute, well, maybe not obviously, but that's going to contribute to flat roots. How do you get your hair to curl from the root? Scrunching upside down, diffusing, stuff like that is really going to help. Flaxseed gel for curls. Flaxseed gel is typically just going to have a higher protein content, so if your hair needs protein, that's a great idea. Oh, thank you about my home. Okay. So, let's see. I've got a t-shirt towel, which now is wet because I was wearing it around my neck. But basically we've styled my whole head with a Denman brush to get rid of any wet frizz and to really start like defining and like getting the spirals to like be in the shape that I want them to be in. That was the most. This is gonna be like kind of a special occasion routine, or if you're just somebody who loves to do their hair and like likes to do a long routine maybe, then this might be for you, but you definitely don't have to do such a long routine. You can do a much, much shorter routine and still get great results. In fact, there is a downside to the routine I just did. And one of those downsides is because my hair is just kind of sitting like this for so long while I go through the whole thing, I end up losing volume. I end up having lots of definition and lack of volume. I have ordered some new root clips which haven't arrived yet, but I'm curious to see if that helps. Okay, so clarifying shampoo, you can use it first and then follow it up with a moisturizing shampoo, or you can use it in place of. Okay, so now I'm going to get that lift at my root just gently and then pull my fingers out the way they came. I don't want to undo all the work that I just did, okay? So see how there's no wet frizz? I want to go in and very gently scrunch out water without rubbing, which would create like friction. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, friends? So this, for my girlies who are trying, or my friends who are trying to encourage curl rather than control curl, I'm stealing terms from Marilyn. That's something Marilyn at Curlology says. Encourage curl. Do you want to encourage your curl pattern or do you want to control your curl pattern? I want to encourage my curl pattern. Yeah, it is such a process. So I'm just going like this, and this is going to really help those loose spirals and waves to bounce up a little bit, and it's going to squeeze out all the excess water. I have no idea if I added enough product today. These are all new products to me, but we are going to find out. I also like to make sure I get the back of my head. It's so easy to forget that back of our head. Okay? Is it possible a microfiber towel creates more frizz? It's probably more the technique you're using that's creating more frizz, but everybody's hair is different. Everyone's hair is different. I would say anything is possible. Go with your gut. If you think it's creating more frizz, try something different. You thought people just woke up with beautiful curls? Some people do. Some people do. That is the truth of the matter. Not everybody does lengthy routines like this. Okay. So now we have squeezed out like most of the excess water. Okay. So now we are going to get into diffusing routine. Now, we need to have a chat. If you are coming onto my page and telling me I can't diffuse my hair, it just makes my hair stringy and frizzy, my hair doesn't work with diffusing, you have come to the right place. I'm about to blow your mind. Diffusing is something that has a lot of technique to it. I am 32 years old. I just had my birthday. I'm an Aquarius. So a lot of people pick up a diffuser for the first time. Oh, let me show you a picture. The first time I ever diffused my hair. So this was me when I was air drying my hair, okay? There was a lot of curling iron going on here. But anyways, roughly that was my hair air dried. 1 second. This was my hair air dried. Heavily heat damaged, but also air dried. Okay. Let me see. Air dried. This was early on in my learning how to take care of my hair. Air dried. Okay. And then I'm going to show you here, I'll show you. Air dried. A lot of curling iron pieces there as well. You can see the heat damage down here, but it's starting to grow in healthier up here. Okay. But then I'm going to show you the first time I used a diffuser. This was the first time I used a diffuser. Not bad. I mean, I put this clip in here because I felt like I was going to an 80s prom. It wasn't terrible, but it was kind of like frizzy and like it was just, see how it's a little bit frizzy and it just felt like there wasn't like any curl clumps. It was just like a little bit big. You know what I'm talking about? So if that's what you struggle with when you're diffusing, let me tell you what I did, okay? I took a diffuser. I know, I printed those pictures out the other day for a sponsored live I was doing, and now I just keep them because they're so helpful. So I took a diffuser the first time I diffused, and I just went like this. Like, actually on my hair, but I'm not gonna do it because it's sacrilege. But, and that much movement and manipulation of my hair, actually touching the hair, was creating frizz. It was too much movement for my hair. Instead, what I now do is I start with hover diffusing, okay? So what I already, if you're just joining now, by the way, what I have so far in my hair is AG recoil. It comes out as a gel. You emulsify it in your hands, not even with water, just on its own. You rub it in your hands until it turns into a cream, and then you add it to fully, very, very wet hair. And then I went in with Deva Curl Ultra Defining Gel, and then I brush styled my hair afterwards. I have not tried Miss Jessie's. So now this is called hover diffusing, okay? And what this is it's basically like a speedy air dry, okay? You know in those first pictures I showed you of the air dry, how I had larger curl clumps that were less frizzy? That's what this is imitating. It's allowing these larger curl clumps to start to set, and for my cast to start to set. So what is the cast? Yeah, I agree. In those pictures I just showed you, it looked better in the air drying, right? So what was the difference? There was too much movement happening when I was diffusing right away. So when I go in and I start diffusing, I want to give these curl clumps a chance to set without frizz getting generated. So that means for me, now everybody is going to choose a diffusing technique that's a little bit different, but I'm going to start with this hover diffusing until my hair starts to feel a little bit stiff to the touch, and that's going to be that cast. So adding recoil and Deva Curl, using any particular method? No, I just went through in sections and added it. Okay, so I'm kind of going through, I like to have not too firm apart, so I like to be able to move my hair back and forth. So personally, I diffuse my hair upside down, but you could also put root clips in your hair and diffuse your hair right side up like this. By the way, this is called hover diffusing. Basically, you've got your diffuser on, you can put it on high heat if your hair can tolerate that, and have it like 8 to 10 centimeters away from your hair. I know we talk a lot about not moving your diffuser too much while you're diffusing. That's not so much referring to hover diffusing, because by the time the airflow reaches your hair here, it's pretty minimal. So moving it during hover diffusing is less of an issue. Does that make sense? When they're talking about don't move the diffuser too much, they're talking about when you're touching your hair. How long does it normally take me to dry all of my hair? Somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes. It's going to depend on how dry it is outside, how humid or dry it is outside, and what products I put in my hair. Okay, so again, I like to move back and forth. I find it helps me a little bit with volume, and it gives me less of a firm part so that I can flip my hair around throughout the day, which is how I like to do it. But if this is an issue for you for accessibility reasons, or just like your back sore, you can put root clips in your hair and you can totally do this upright. Okay. This is the Lust Brands diffuser. Oh, they're sold. I forgot they're sold out. But yeah, this is my Lust Brands diffuser. I can't believe how much length I got taken off. I feel like it's gonna be so much faster to diffuse my hair today. Yeah, so I have the diffuser on the highest heat setting and the highest airflow setting, just because it saves me time. But also, I heard a curly hair specialist, Curly Gal Flo from Manchester, talk about heat, using heat on your hair. And she's like, when you, Curly Gal Flo is her name. She's a TikToker and an Instagrammer, I think. And she's a hairstylist. And she was saying, when you hear people say never use heat on wavy, curly, and kinky coily hair, and she specializes in kinky coily hair, but she works on all curl types. She said what they're talking about is using a straightener or a curling iron. Don't use a straightener or a curling iron on textured hair or wavy hair or whatever. Because using that is like using an iron on clothes. The likelihood that you could leave it too long in one spot and leave a burn mark is pretty high. It's very possible, okay? Using a diffuser on high heat on your hair is like putting that same garment in a tumble dryer. It's possible to burn the hair, but it's very unlikely. So that was her expression. So she felt, I mean, I guess there's some blow dryers out there that are extremely hot, but she felt that it was safe to use heat when you're diffusing. Ultimately, when you're diffusing hair, it is the heat that is drying your hair. The whole point is that you want minimal airflow. The airflow is not what's drying your hair. It is the heat that is drying your hair. Ah! My diffuser is from Lust Brands, but I think they're sold out right now. But when they're not sold out anymore, I do have a discount code. It's GHWH10. Gives you 10% off. I don't have any root clips right now. Do you run fingers through your hair while applying products? I do, because I brush style afterwards. Oh yeah, diffusing your hair on cold is like, it takes forever. Guys, I have been diffusing my hair on like pretty much high heat for 3 years. Every time I get my hair cut by a hairstylist, other than this most recent time, because I hadn't had my hair cut in like over 10 months, but they always comment on how healthy my hair is. Okay, my hair is like dry. Oh shoot. Okay, usually I only do that until I have a cast on my hair, and then I switch to pixie diffusing, which is when I cup it like that. And usually I go down to like a medium heat for this, specifically because this is quite a hot diffuser, so I just don't need it to be on high. And usually I would have switched a little bit sooner. I didn't realize how dry my hair was getting. I have so much less hair now. I'm not used to it drying so quickly. The hair dryer I think is sold out right now, guys, but there's a link in my bio. It's the Lust Brands diffuser. Okay, so this is called Pixie Diffusing. Typically you can hold positions for like 20 to 30 seconds. My hair's like already pretty dry, so I'm moving it a little bit more than I usually would. My hair is very wavy on top and much more spirally on the bottom. Frankly, I would recommend just trying out some of my hair routines. Watch some of, like, I'm going to post this full live on YouTube. Try it out. The diffuser, yeah, it's going to be more heavy than like a Dyson or something like that, but it's also a fifth of the price. Not a fifth. How much is a Dyson? Like $600 or $700 bucks? Thank you. Is it Black History? That's awesome. Okay. I get coily hair on my neck and soft waves on top. Yeah. Uneven curl pattern is completely normal. So I used AG recoil, and then I went over that with Deva Curl Ultra Defining Gel. I do have to say, my hair is so much more spirally than it has been in a very long time. If you're interested in trying either of these products out, Curlology is linked in my bio, and you can go check out, you can purchase those products from there. Yes, I do. I sleep with my hair either in a silk scarf or a silk bonnet. And that's one of those things that we've really learned from the black hair community. They've been doing that for a really, really long time. I mean, we've learned so much about wavy and curly hair from the black and brown hair communities. But that's really one of those things that has been learned from them. How do you feel about no oils, no butters in the first 5 ingredients of your products? I've never heard that before, actually. I don't know. I'm sorry, Instagram. My hand was over you. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to done. I was worried that I had not enough product in my hair, but actually I think it was like a good amount of product. If you have coily hair on my neck and the rest is really wavy, could I possibly use brush styling to help? Yeah, so brush styling can be used to artificially enhance your curl pattern. Absolutely. I definitely use brush curls on my least curly sections because I find if I brush curl the loose wave sections of my head and then diffuse them with gel in, it will make them slightly more spirally. Now, if you brush curl completely straight hair, it's not going to hold. If you have a loose S wave and you brush curl it, you might be able to turn it into a spiral. So you might be able to blend that, but also a really good haircut is probably going to make the biggest difference. Your hair needs to be more moisturized and curl better. Yeah, having hair that's dry definitely is going to contribute to like frizz and it's struggling to hold curl. So how do you determine the porosity of your hair? Hair that's very high porosity, first of all, hair that's like bleached or colored is typically going to be slightly higher porosity than it would normally be. You're increasing the porosity, you're making it higher porosity. So, but hair that's very high porosity is going to get wet very, very easily, but it's going to also dry very, very quickly. So if your hair, when there's no product in it, like air dries in a sub 2 hours, you probably have higher porosity hair. If your hair, when there's no product in it and it air dries, it's taking like more than 8 hours to air dry with no product in it, you probably have lower porosity hair. That's like a good rule of thumb. Have you tried using a strainer with a hair dryer instead? Shamefully, I can say yes. And then I posted and people were like, that metal strainer is probably burning your hair right now. And I was like, yeah, it probably just did. But I jumped on the trend, of course, you know. But don't do that at home, guys. Just get a diffuser. It does. To be fair, though, the strainer trick did work really well. It did work. I can't deny that. So if you're just like trying to decide whether or not you want to buy a diffuser and you have a strainer at home and you have like, because you don't really want to use a plastic one because they might melt, right? And then the metal ones could burn your hair, so I can't really recommend you use the metal one. That's the issue. Because the metal is a conductor of heat. So the products that I use today is the AG Recoil, which you put on your hand and it's a gel, but then you rub hands and it turns into a cream. And then I added that to very, very wet hair. And then I went in with Deva Curl Ultra Defining Gel. I added very like minimal product and I was really worried it wouldn't be enough product, but like we're getting some good definition. So, okay, so now, I mean, I haven't even scrunched this out yet, but now you see, guys, when I use what I call pore diffusing technique, this is what it looked like. You see, we had frizz, all these tiny little curls that looked kind of like 80s, and lots of halo frizz. And when I use good diffusing technique, we get these chunkier spirals and a lot less halo frizz. That's what I'm talking about when I say using good technique and what a big difference it makes. It makes such a difference. I don't know if this is high hold, honestly. It says strong hold. Uneven curl pattern is completely normal, guys. Everybody has it. So part of this is going to be accepting that about your hair. But things like brush styling and diffusing can help moderate that a little bit. But the biggest part about it is having a really good haircut, honestly. Do you have lots of layers? Yeah, I have layers in my hair. And that helps to have, see, like here, I do have some layers. Like you can see it's shorter here. But I have like slightly more layers now. So you'll see my hair when I turn upright. This is my first time styling my hair myself with my normal routine since getting all my hair chopped off. I got like several inches cut off my hair, so I'm so excited. I have straight hair but kind of wavy in some places, but when I put product in, it goes curly. So probably what's happening there is if you put hold products, if your hair is most curly when it's wet, or most wavy or spirally when it's wet, but then the water is weighing down your hair, so then it's kind of straight by the time it's dry. If you put in products that contain hold and then like diffuse your hair, you're gonna like prism, you're gonna capture that spiraliness when your hair is wet and preserve it for when your hair is dry. That doesn't mean you have curly hair, because we type our hair when it's air dried with no product. Does that make sense? So you might have straight or swavy hair and be able to create the illusion of some wave in your hair, and there's nothing wrong with that. I encourage you to do that if you like that look. That's fun. We can style our hair however we want. It doesn't mean you have curly hair. That's okay. But you might have wavy hair too, and it's just that maybe your hair was unhealthy or damaged and you started taking care of it, and then it became what it naturally would be had it not been damaged, or yeah. So there's like two sides of that. How do you ask your hairstylist for a haircut? I can't find somebody to cut my curly hair. So I just posted a video of the consultation I did with my hairstylist, so you can definitely go check that out. It's the second most recent video. What's a good product for frizzy hair and dandruff? I would take do I have it here? Take a scalp scrubber and scrub your scalp while dry to exfoliate it, to loosen all that like dryness. And then if it's dry, flaky scalp, And then make sure that you're shampooing with like a good shampoo, clarifying periodically, like at least once a month or once every 6 weeks. And then you can even like let a little conditioner get on your scalp if you're not somebody who gets really greasy roots super easily. Okay. So now what I'm gonna go through, because we did do more brush curls than usual, I am gonna go through and break up just a couple of these brush curls that have kind of combined together. Aw, you're welcome. I am becoming an apprentice hairstylist, but no, I've just been doing this a long time now, so I've gotten some experience, but I'm not a hairstylist. I am looking at becoming one because clearly I love hair. Okay, 1 second. What do we think? What do you think, guys? What do you think of these results? It's like I've got more wonky curls than I'm used to. Why is the lighting outrageously bad today? Is it better back here and worse? No, it's just bad everywhere. I go live at the same time every day. I don't know why the lighting is so bad. So I am like relatively happy with the root volume. It's not bad. So like, I'll give you a close up. It definitely looks nice and healthy. It's very soft, very touchable. My hair feels like there's no product in it, which I know a lot of you guys have. I just define my hair as wavy. Remember that you always define your hair when it's unstyled with no product in it and air dried. You guys are seeing heavily manipulated and brush curled hair right now. So this would not be the time that you type your hair. Is short hair better for wavy curly hair? Not necessarily. I know people who have beautiful long wavy curly hair, and I know people who have gorgeous very short wavy curly hair. Okay, so this I kind of find to be like a little bit of a wonky curl, but I don't know. What am I can't tell if it's just the lighting that I'm unhappy with. I'm debating if I want to move you guys somewhere where I have better lighting. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Let's do that. Just so I can finish my hair. Okay, you might see my messy kitchen. That's better, right? That's a little bit better. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. So, one of the first things that I like to do is zhuzh up the roots, which gives me a little bit more root volume. And then I'm gonna go through and just by hand, break up any of the larger curl clumps that have formed, which is gonna store some of the volume. I can never get my brush curls to stay curled. How do you do it? If your hair is struggling to hold brush curls probably aren't the right technique for you. So ultimately, it's one of those things that like your hair kind of needs to be in the sweet spot of a certain curl pattern or curl type for it to work for you. If your hair is to like a certain level of curly, it's redundant. It's just completely unnecessary. It's more effort than it's worth. And if your hair is not spirally enough, or if it's very fine, for example, it might struggle to hold. So it's not for everybody. I know that a lot of people don't realize that. They think they're doing something wrong, when in reality you might not be doing anything wrong, it just might not be the right technique for you. There's lots of other great techniques, like rake and shake is a really popular, pretty universally helpful technique. Squish to condish is another really great technique that you can look up that's very, very helpful for people that brush curls don't work for. Yeah, I would look up those two techniques, brush curls and rake and shake, as a really good place to start. How do you figure curl pattern out? What do you mean by that question? So what I'm doing right now, guys, is I wanted to restore a little bit of volume. And so in order to do that, what I'm doing is kind of going through and like breaking up all of these curls a little bit. I already do pretty small brush curls when I do them, but I'm just going through and breaking them up a little bit more because I did find my hair was like a little bit flat. So that's gonna help me just like make it look a little bit more lived in, a little bit less perfect. Does that make sense? So the products that I use today are the AG Recoil and the Deva Curl Ultra Defining Gel. I will say my hair is definitely like more spirally than it usually is. I think part of that is because I got a lot of length cut off. So all those dead ends are gone and I don't miss them. Out of my mouth. And I don't miss them. Part of that is that I got a Malibu Sea hard water treatment, so I don't have so much gosh darn buildup on my hair, thank goodness. Part of that is probably the curl activator, that AG Recoil, which is a new product for me, and it's leaving my hair so soft. So one of the things I do like about this product combination, if you want to try these out, guys, the link in my bio does take you to Curlology. Curlology is the salon that did my hair, and you can buy both of these products from their salon. Deva Curl Ultra Defining Gel and AG Recoil Curl Activator. But my hair doesn't feel like there's product in it. Like it just feels very soft, not heavy. It's called Curlology, Curl by Marilyn. And that's linked in my bio. You can check it out. It's one of the first like 5 links under featured links. You keep getting thin curls lately instead of juicy curls. Any tips? Ooh, I love that question. For me, that's typically a sign either that I need to clarify, that I need a haircut, or sometimes that my protein moisture balance is off. Sometimes also when I use the same products for too long, that starts happening. Like when I use the same mousse for too long, I just need to like take a break from using mousse for a little while because I start getting those stringy curls. I know those are not like the most scientific reasons, but it's just like a reality for me. Sometimes I just need to stop using mousse for a while. Something that can help with stringy curls is add a little bit more water and like a cream-based product before you go in with your gel. That's gonna help bring those little curl families back together. Something that's like moisturizing, maybe like if you usually use a spray spray leave-in conditioner, maybe for a couple of wash days try using a cream leave-in conditioner and that might help, or like a lotion-y leave-in conditioner. Yeah, I'm doing this without a mirror too, so we'll see. Maybe I'm just ruining my hair. Who knows? If your hair literally mats, first of all, I would sleep with your hair in like a silk pillowcase or something like that. Okay. I like that so much better. So some people maybe like preferred it before, like a little bit more defined looking. I like it better like this, a little bit more lived in. I much prefer this. Okay. Oh my god, you can see how great the shape is that she gave me. I love this so much more. And so you see how when I broke up all of those curl clumps, you stop like nitpicking all of the individual curls so much, and everything, like this little piece isn't bugging me so much now. I can just kind of go like that and she hides away. We're all good. Yes, if you want just like a quick routine, if you're watching what I did today and you're like, absolutely not, I do have a routine called Intro to Wavy Hair. It's tagged or like pinned to the top of my profile on both Instagram and TikTok. It is somewhere on YouTube, but I don't know how you can find it easily. And so that's a really quick and easy routine that you can try if you just want something super, super easy. If you still have very straight roots, my first tip is that is a curl type. Not everybody has curly roots. Do you see how it's straight at my roots? So I did do like brush curls and I really scrunched and encouraged that first curl to get that bend. But in reality, I have very straight roots here. I also diffused, which really helped as well. But having straight roots or like curl that doesn't start at the root, that is a curl pattern. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's not necessarily something you have to fix. Yes, if you want just like a quick routine, if you're watching what I did today and you're like, absolutely not, I do have a routine called Intro to Wavy Hair. It's tagged or like pinned to the top of my profile on both Instagram and TikTok. It is somewhere on YouTube, but I don't know how you can find it easily. Okay, guys, I am so happy with that. Yay! Okay, I'm gonna go live. Well, I do go live every single Tuesday. I will see you next week. I'm trying to think what we have coming up that's kind of fun. If you are doing something fun for Valentine's Day and you want to do something a little bit more special with your hair, but you don't want heat damage, or maybe you have a wedding coming up or prom and you want, if you're into like that, like vintage look, but you always thought you couldn't do it because you didn't want to heat damage your hair. I did just post a video that I honestly think turned out so good that I did with just I think 6 hot rollers on top of my head, but the whole rest of the style is just my natural hair, just my natural curl pattern. So if you want to check that out, definitely check that out. I think it turned out so much better than I expected, and it's very, very formal. You know what I mean? Like it's a very, like it's really leaning into your natural hair, but it's also very elevated. Totally obsessed. Highly recommend it. Go check that out. Other than that, I do have if you want to like stay up to date on what's happening, you can go check out my newsletter. The link is in my bio to get in on that. The next one is going to be going out probably in about a week and a half, and in that you're going to kind of just stay in the know of if you want to know what's happening generally in the wider curl community. I'm also going to have like my latest blog post in there, and there's going to be like product giveaways and stuff like that. You'll be the first to know if you're in my blog posts. And when I'm doing shout outs, when I want people to come in and get their hair styled, that's probably the first place that I'm gonna go looking for people. So that's also something a good reason why you might wanna check out the newsletter. So anyways, thanks so much for joining today. It's been awesome, and I'm gonna see you guys next Tuesday. Okay, bye-bye.